Chapter Monster.
Thunder rumbled. Oh, let's kill the monster. Esme grabbed Kenneth by the arm, causing her pajamas to roll up, exposing her bruised wrists. Oh, he'll catch me again. For a moment, Kenneth believed in the monster, but he doubted again, remembering that her bruises were due to a lack of vitamins. Their parents thought it was genetic, so they stuffed Esme with nasty fish oil and greens. Well, did you see it again? Oh, it's at the pier. Oh, I saw it out the window. It's there again. Come quickly. You're not afraid to go? I'm afraid, but you'll help me, right? Kenneth mumbled under his breath in approval. Like I have a choice. Kenneth had a certain quality. If he was going to do something, he took it seriously.
He went unhesitatingly toward the closet to dress Esme in her warm clothes before going and opened the doors.
After seeing the number of varieties of girlish clothes, he momentarily froze, bound by the thought process. Then he turned to Esme with the most serious expression. Dress warmly. How does Mom dress you? He took the backpack with Baloo's collar. A Swiss Army knife was hanging next to it. Then he rushed to his nightstand and took out a flashlight that he almost forgot. He put on an old knitted sweater and stood by the door, waiting for Esme. For a moment, Esme froze, staring into the back of the closet. Thunder rumbled. Are you okay? Esme slowly turned her head to Kenneth. A jacket with pockets or a blue sweater? Kenneth exhaled, rolling his eyes, expressing indifference to girlish fashion, and defiantly stretched his hands, pointing to the door. Esme looked at the nightstand where her diary was. Oh, you won't leave it like that, will you? Oh, of course not. He put the diary in his backpack and, taking Esme by the hand, slipped quietly down the stairs. In their parents' room, the TV was mumbling unintelligibly. It was the only source of light, so it was easy to sneak past it. When they found themselves on the street, it seemed that half the battle was over. Ahead, there was only adventurous excitement and the fear of being caught and punished. Shh! Quietly! Creeping up to the flower garden, Kenneth took on the role of a monster hunter. He put an open backpack near the pile of stones and gestured to Esme to help him put them inside. The backpack was getting heavy. Oh, that will do. Well, let's go. Esme called Kenneth unexpectedly loudly, forcing him to duck. Shh! What's the matter? Esme put a couple of stones in a large pocket of her sweater. The silhouettes of every bush or tree in the distance began to come to life. A shiver ran down Kenneth's spine. The determination Kenneth had a few minutes ago was rapidly leaving him. His father's building was shrouded in the fog, giving weight to the beam of the flashlight. The hinges of the old door were so loosened that even the locked latch did not prevent it from giving off a terrible creak, especially now in the night. As they unlocked the latch, the wind blew out from over the water, and the doors banged open, throwing Esme and Kenneth away on the ground. Junk from the shelves rolled to the ground. On impact, Kenneth with Esme fell down, dropping the flashlight, the only light source. A noise came from the shed. "Oh, the monster's here!" Kenneth looked up and saw with his own eyes the lights burning from the depths of the shed. "Oh, let him have it!" First went the collected stones that flew right between the burning eyes. After that went any junk falling from the rack, some cans and tools and bundles. Thunder rumbled. The silhouette disappeared along with the fog. Kenneth grabbed Esme's hand and ran out of the shed. "Oh, did you see that?" "Well, of course. How could I not?" "And you didn't believe me." "Oh, I'm sorry." Esme looked down to the ground as if she was holding something back. "Well, what's the matter?" "It wasn't that monster." "What do you mean by that? He's not alone?" "Oh, this one was different." The conversation was interrupted by a bright flash of light in their faces. A moment later, the beam from the flashlight fell to their feet. Their drunken father was in front of Kenneth with a rifle and the flashlight, which Kenneth had just dropped. "Oh, what are you doing out here? Oh, what a mess!" "Oh, there's a monster in the shed." "Because of this, you made this havoc?" "You just scared that thing off." "Now go home now, or I'll make you clean all that up."
Kenneth hugged Esme and sent her forward to protect her from Father's anger. While passing the flower bed, Esme correctly noted its state. "Oh, Mom will kill us." "Oh, we'll explain everything." "Oh, wait." Esme stopped suddenly and pulled Kenneth's sleeve. "Where's my diary?" Esme showed her backpack. It was opened. "Oh, I have it. It was here somewhere." "Oh, we lost it at the pier." "But Dad is there." "We can't go back. He told us to go home." "We have to get the diary." "I entrusted it to you. You can't do this." Something dark and large swept through the bushes in the garden, mowing over some branches and flowers. Kenneth jumped aside in fright, but Esme seemed glad. "Oh, it's Shadow. He'll help us." "Oh?" "A shadow." Kenneth defiantly rolled his eyes, demanding an explanation. "Oh, he's nice. He'll help us." "Let's go get the diary back." "Oh, what is that shadow? How many more monsters do we have around?" "Well, he's not a monster." "I mean, well, I was afraid of him too. But he helped me many times, hide from the other monster." Kenneth looked around nervously. "Oh, where did he go?" Well, don't you see him? A large silhouette had grown behind Esme, resembling something between thick fog and light-absorbing darkness. Kenneth stepped back, pointing at the creature behind Esme. Oh, don't be afraid. Thick darkness came upon Esme, slowly swallowing her from head to toe until there was only a hand outstretched to Kenneth. Oh, come quickly. He will help us. Esme grabbed Kenneth's arm and dragged him into the darkness. Kenneth clutched his head and closed his eyes briefly, but then he saw Esme beside him. As long as we're inside, no one will see us. Kenneth and Esme headed for the pier along the bushes at the edge of the plot. Despite the lost diary, Esme was pleased with what was happening. Well, I'm glad you believed me. Now I can tell you everything. Well, like what? Later. When they reached the pier, Kenneth saw his father sorting out the debris in the shed that he and Esme had made. The shed door was open. The diary was right in front of it. Kenneth left Esme behind. He decided to sneak in and get the book alone. Of course, with the help of Shadow. He will help you. Kenneth crept to the door and hid behind it. Then he reached for the diary. Suddenly, he heard his father's steps. He was holding a kerosene lamp. The light from the lamp shone in the doorway. Shadow began to sizzle like on a frying pan, but kept the darkness. Kenneth grabbed the diary and ran headlong toward the house, bringing Esme with him. Oh, it worked! I got it! I got it! Shadow was incredible. They were already near the house under the kitchen windows when the light turned on suddenly, and with the sound of hissing oil, dissolved Kenneth's new friend. Kenneth and Esme ducked down. In the window, they could see their mother looking in the direction of the pier. Kenneth and Esme whispered, "Oh, is he dead?" "No, he will come back, as always. He just doesn't like the bright light." Does it hurt?" Esme shrugged. Probably not. Why else would he come back every time?" "Well, let's go inside." "Well, let's take a walk." "Well, what if Mom gets worried?" "Oh, I don't want Mom to worry. But I don't want to go home yet. As soon as I fall asleep, the monster comes." "Oh, I can protect you." "Well, let's walk a bit more, please. I have so much to tell you." "Well, you can tell me everything at home." "Oh, you won't believe it. I have to show you." "Have you ever heard Mom sing?" "I can't remember. Probably when I was little." "Her voice is wonderful." Esme grabbed Kenneth's arm and led him into the backyard. "Listen." Quiet melodies were trailing over from the old well's direction. "Oh, is it really Mom?" "Could have been, Mom. That is her monster. Now you can see it." "Oh, I don't like this anymore. What kind of monster sings in Mom's voice?" "He's not evil." "Probably. He told me that a long time ago, before we were born, she'd had a beautiful voice. she loved to sing. But later, she gave up on singing, and that's when he appeared, that monster.
Well, did he take Mom's voice?
Let's throw some stones at him.
Kenneth showed Esme his backpack. There were some stones left from the hunt for the first monster.
Oh, he said that he hadn't done anything wrong, that Mom raised him herself.
Does Mom see monsters?
I don't know, but she doesn't see this one, and it makes him sad. She likes her voice very much.
They heard the creaking of the closing door of the shed on the pier, and then steps.
Kenneth and Esme ran to the corner of the house and saw their father coming. Do you remember Dad smiling?
Nope, he's always serious.
Sometimes he smiles when he sleeps, when Mate comes to him.
Mate?
You remember when Dad told you about his childhood friend he grew up with? His friend was shot in the war, and Dad survived.
Oh, you mean Philip? You called Dad's dead friends Monster Mate? Esme looked at the floor guiltily.
He just has a very kind smile.
Well, you can't.
Who would call monsters by name?
Monster Philip. Very funny. And he likes being called Mate. At least he didn't mind.
How about we give your monster a name?
Well, my monster?
The one in the shed.
I'm confused.
He didn't look like mine. Have you seen the monster in the shed?
I don't know. I didn't get a good look.
We scared your monster because of me. What if he's not evil?
Well, maybe it wasn't a monster at all. I'm tired. Let's go home.
No way. You saw Shadow. You heard Mom's monster.
You want to leave me again?
Esme ran toward the old well.
A wolf or a dog?
Kenneth ran after her.
My monster looked like a wolf or a dog.
Esme stopped at the well. I know, I saw him. I wanted you to come clean. Everyone pretends not to see their own monsters, even if monsters are standing right in front of them.
They don't believe me. They think I'm stupid.
No one thinks you're stupid.